Welcome to Jagat Guru Nanak Dev Punjab State Open University, Ludhiana. Welcome students of MCom Commerce, Master of Commerce of 4th semester. So today under subject Principles and Functions of Management, we are going to do unit number 7, that is staffing. So we have already started this chapter in our previous lecture, and so far we have covered the objectives. We have already covered the staffing process. We covered what is the importance of staffing in organizations, and we defined staffing by various authors, and we discussed how the perception of different authors is different from each other and how do they perceive the staffing. Next is we discussed about nature of staffing. We studied about the significance of staffing. We discussed about the staffing process, and so today we are going to start with the staffing process. First part, that is manpower planning. So manpower planning, as we have already discussed, that it includes demand forecasting and supply forecasting. So time and again I have explained in this chapter that it's all about the demand and supply. So manpower planning, as the very name says, is the planning about the human resource, with how many people you need in the future, how many right now you have, and from where you will get these people from. What is the supply forecasting? So manpower planning is understanding. For that, the first step that comes into the picture is understanding the organizational goals. So the process begins with the thorough understanding of the organization's mission, its vision, goals, and strategic objectives, providing the context for manpower planning. So vision, which is where do you want to see yourself down the line, 5 year down the line or 10 year down the line. It's a dreamlike situation. Where do you want to see yourself? And mission is something, a statement which tells you how are you going to achieve the vision. Then there are goals of the organization. Then strategic objectives, which is strategy, which is always with your competitors. So strategy, what strategy you have made according to the environment, according to the other competitors. So what strategic objective do you have? So this all provide the base for manpower planning. Next step under this is, so first you need to understand what are your organizational goals. So how would you understand your organizational goals? Through the organization's mission, vision, goal, and the strategic objectives. Next is environmental analysis. So once you have understood your goals, after that you have to do the environment analysis. I won't say that goals are set first, then comes the environment analysis. So it goes side by side. It go hand in hand, or you can say like vision, mission is also created by having a knowledge, having a thorough analysis by doing the environmental analysis. So under environment analysis, you do various type of analysis, like you understand the internal environment of the organization, external environment of the organization. So in internal, we studied about the SWOT, that is what are our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Like in SWOT, if you say the S and W part is the internal environment, while OT is the external environment. So strength and weaknesses are internal to you, while opportunity and threat are outside the environment. So you study here the environment, not only the internal, but as well as external environment. So really, basically you do strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threat analysis. So while you study opportunity and threat, you study that what are various competitor outside, what strategies are they following, what sort of product they are launching, what sort of services they are rendering. So everything comes in that. And according to your competitor, you prepare your strategy, that how you going to beat those competitor and how are you going to achieve what you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve means what is your vision. So here you study like the structure, the industry trends, the technological advancement, not only who are your competitors, but or what technological advancements are there, what are industry trends going towards, is what you are producing is going to have a demand in the future or not, or is it going to be obsolete in the near future, or is it going to have a lots and lots of demand. So you need to study about the environment here. Next is demand forecasting. So after that, after doing your goal, understanding your internal environment on the basis of an external environment on the basis of which you prepare your goals, you go for the demand forecasting. So in demand forecasting, ये चीज देखते हैं कि if this is going to be the strategy of my organizations, say if I'm going to diversify my business tomorrow, if I'm going to expand my business tomorrow, so I'll be needing this much of resources. So out of those resources, what is the proportion of the manpower? What is the requirement for the manpower? What is human resource requirement? How many people you will be needing? So on the basis of that, you prepare for the future demand for the labor, estimating the number of employees needed, and not only the number, but of what skills, of what qualification, roles to support the business growth and changes. Next is job analysis. So in job analysis, as we have already covered, that job analysis is the process where you do the thorough analysis. You by various methods. For example, you take the interviews of the incumbents, of the supervisors, subject matter experts, to gather insights about job duties, responsibilities, and requirements. So other method that you use is the interview, questionnaires. Through questionnaire also, standardized questionnaire or unstandardized questionnaire, you tend to get the information about what are the job tasks, skills, knowledge, and behavior. So and the next method could be the observation. So by observing employees, at what job duties they perform, and you identify the task, you identify the actions and behaviors required for the job performance. And you can have a job analysis workshops also, where you facilitate the group discussion, a workshop with key stakeholders to brainstorm and document job related information. So job analysis, as the very name says, you analyze the job here. So method could be any, it could be interview, it could be questionnaire, it could be observation, it could be job analysis workshops. So what you try to get from these methods, you try and get information that what is being done in the job, what tasks are performed in the job, what duties are there in the job, and to perform those duties, the incumbent should have what sort of skills, abilities, attitude, etc. So the product of job analysis, after doing job analysis exercise, you get two products. One is called job description and another one is called job specification. We have done it in the previous slide also. In the previous lecture, we covered this. So in job description, we talk about the job, about the things about the job. While job specification, we talk about the things about the person who is going to do the job. So about the job means what is the function in the job? What are the duties in the job? Where would be the location of the job? What would be the salary in the job? Compensation, the benefits, etc. Right? And job specification is the person who's going to do the job, the incumbent, he should have what sort of skills, what sort of, he should have what sort of attitude or experience or qualification or training or experiences or he should have. So that's job specification. So that's the entire process is called job analysis. Next is recruitment and selection. So time and again in the previous class, I have discussed again and again that recruitment is a negative, it's a positive process while selection is a negative process. So this generally comes into the paper. So how do we do recruitment? Because in recruitment, we motivate people, more and more people to apply for the jobs. While in selection, we apply filters, we apply various methods through GD, through discussions, through interviews, through various tests. We try and filter the people. We try and get the best of the people. So it is the process whereby you get less and less number of people, but of course the quality people, which you really want to hire actually, for whom you want to make a hiring decision. In recruitment, you just motivate them to apply for the job. So more and more people apply for the job in your organization. So first in the recruitment and selection is identifying the needs. So determining the specific roles and skills required to support the organization's goals and objectives. So as we have already discussed, that first you find what are the organization's goals, objective. How do you set that? By doing all the analysis. So you determine that this is going to be the requirement of my manpower in the near future, and you decide what role they need to play, what skills they should have. So this is all come under the identifying the needs. Next is attracting candidate. So attracting candidate is recruitment, where you utilize various recruitment channels and strategies to reach and engage the qualified applicants. Next is evaluating the candidates. Again, it's a selection process. Selection where you apply filters in the form of group discussions, in the form of various tests, in the form of various battery of tests, various medical tests, various fitness tests, for reaching at the most capable person to be hired in your job. Next is the making hiring decisions. So once you have applied all the selection tools, you got to take one decision that out of these 5 people, you got to choose 2 people, 2 best people. So that's going to be the hiring decision. So once you have made up your mind that he's the person or she's the person that we want to hire, he's the best candidate for this job, he has the right KSA, that is knowledge, skill, and attitude. You extend the job offers to them and to ensure that organizations acquires the necessary talent. Next is recruitment in detail, like it's identifying and attracting potential candidates. So identifying job vacancies. So recruitment process begins by identifying job vacancies or positions that need to be filled within the organization, prompted by factors such as business growth, employee turnover, internal promotions, organizational restructuring. So depending upon the strategy of your organization, you decide whether I want to fill my vacancies through internal promotions, or I want to hire it from the outside, or depending upon the strategy of your organization, you identify that these are the job vacancies that my organizations are having. So next is developing recruitment strategy. So developing a recruitment strategy to attract qualified candidates, determining the most effective methods and channels to reach potential applicants such as job boards, social media, employee referrals, recruitment agencies. So various methods, various strategies are used for the recruitment. For example, here it is written job boards, like you can see in the picture on the board of the organizations. They may post the job vacancies in the organization. So people in the organization who are internal, they can see these job vacancies. Even they can pass on this information to their near and dears. On social media, for example, on the LinkedIn, for example, on the Naukri.com, on various job portals, on through various placement agencies, through employee referrals. You can, once it is posted on the job board, so employee can refer some people, the candidate who can be the potential employee tomorrow, and recruitment agencies like the placement agencies, placement consultants. So this is your recruitment strategy. Next is advertising the job openings. Once you have decided that this is the best strategy for us, that we are going for just for employee referral or for the social media. And under social media, which site, which portal are you going to apply for? You study their cost and benefit analysis, that which one is the best, or should we go for the recruitment agencies? You decide, you take a decision that we are going to advertise our job openings on this platform. So there you will send every information, like you create the job advertisement, which is very crafted very clearly, concisely, which is tailored to attract the desired candidates, and including information about the job title, duties, qualification, and application instructions. So you can see, including information about job title, duty. So job title, duty, it's related to the job description, while the qualification is related to the job specification, and application instruction, with how to fill the form, what documents you need to append with your application. For example, your 10th certificate, your 12th certificate, your last salary, or if you are a fresher, then there would be no experience. No experience certificate would be required. If you're working somewhere, then the no objection certificate is required. What was your last salary? What benefits you were getting? And what trainings you have got? What experiences you have gathered? Right? What is your expectations in the new job? So we can ask all these information from the prospective candidate. Next is selection. So selection is identifying and choosing the most qualified candidate. So it also involves various steps. Here we have just mentioned the three. Otherwise, in various books you'll find 8, 9, 10 steps. Like it just depends upon the job. It depends upon the company's policy. For example, in some of the jobs you may be requiring the medical fitness. You may be requiring other fitnesses. In some of the jobs you may require you may require to check the eyesight. You may require to have the good build of the person, a pleasing personality, all feminine quality. Like for example, if it is a customer care job, or it's a so you expect that the person should be very should show very etiquettes, mannerism in talking with the general public. So even as a male, we require those feminine qualities are desired in those kinds of jobs. So it first includes initial screening. The selection process begins with the initial screening of the applicant's resumes, cover letters, application form to identify candidates who meet the minimum qualification and requirement outlined in the job description. So even when we apply for the job, we always put a cover letter before sending our application form or appending our resumes to the company where we are applying. And next is pre-employment test and assessment. So before hiring that person, that's the initial screening, and after that there's a pre-employment test. So assessment to evaluate their skills, aptitude, personality, fit for the job, such as cognitive ability tests, technical skills test, or personality assessment test. For example, if you're hiring somebody for the accounting job, you may take the test for their accounting knowledge. You may take a test for how he's working with the various softwares like Tally and all. Supposing if the company is in a particular area, you may take a language test also. You can take a cognitive ability test also. If you have to hire a person in a computer job, you may take a test of the technical skills, whether he's good in programming. Had this been a job for the programmer, so you may give the programming, you may give a problem, you can see that how they are doing the coding, etc. If you're hiring people for HR, or especially for the IR, you can check whether he has done LLB, or how is his labor law knowledge, his knowledge about the laws, various labor laws. If you hiring people for the training and development, you can check whether they can conduct training need analysis. They can conduct training programs. What are their experiences in the training field? If you're hiring a researcher in some institution, you can see how many papers they have published with various reputed Scopus-based journals, and what is his H-index, right? How many citations they have got. So depending upon the jobs, depending upon the organizations, tests would differ. So there may be a large battery of tests which you could employ to hire the individuals. So next is the interview and reference checks. And finally, you do interviews. Interviews, generally, when we explain what are interviews, we say it's an inner view, to know the inner view of the individual. And the reference check. Reference check is like before applying for the job, we ask for certain references that give the name of certain references with whom you have worked so far, and they should not be your relative, they should not be your known. So we ask them, we do the background checking, we do the reference check. We ask them how was this person in the last job, how was his behavior, his demeanors, his skills, his attitudes, etc. So the companies do check the references about the competency, about the qualification of the person. Next is placement. Once the person is selected, you have taken a hiring decision. Now it's a turn to place the individual at the right place. So actually, when we started with the staffing, we said staffing is the process which ensure at the end that you have the right kind of person at the right place and at the right time. So placement include assigning employees to the appropriate position. So we ensure that there is a person job fit and there is a person organization fit. So for which job this person is being hired, we should have those skills and abilities, and we should have there should be a fit between the person and the organization too. So matching candidates with the job position. So this is person job fit. Consideration of organizational needs. Placement decisions are made with a careful consideration of organizational needs, priorities, and objectives, aligning candidates' skills and abilities with the requirement of specific job positions and supporting achievement of organizational goals. And the last one under this comes orientation and onboarding. We also call it induction. Previously, we used to call it induction. After that, the term came orientation. So it's a process basically which is we define it as a process of acculturating and acclimatizing the candidate to the new environment is called orientation. These days we use the term onboarding. Since there is an evolution from human resource management to talent management, the new terminology that has replaced the orientation these days has come the onboarding. Now the person is on the board. Means he's placed. So we need to culturate him. We need to give them all the facilities that he get acclimatized to that environment, right? Because there is a theory of socialization. Like if you come from the previous organization, you tend to meet the new people, new policies, new structure, new methods of which you are not aware of. So obviously, sometimes it creates a shock, and you get to adapt with yourself with that environment. So this needs support from the organization. Like after placement, newly hired employees undergo orientation onboarding to familiarize themselves with the new roles, with the culture, with the policies, work environment, helping them integrate into the new position smoothly. So in many organizations, like if you talk about the small organization, the induction program is only for the one day. While in big companies and multinational companies, those who care for the development of the organization, that we have hired a very qualified person, and we want to get the most from him, so that he could contribute to his optimum to this organization. We want to give them best of the environment so that he can get acculturate, he can get acclimatized easily, and can give the inputs to the organization. So this is all about placement. Next is training and development, enhancing employee skills and knowledge. So staffing doesn't include only that you have hired the people. So it doesn't only include job analysis, which starts with the job analysis, with the recruitment and selection and the placement and the orientation. So once the person is there in your organization, he's on the board, you need to educate him, you need to give them on-the-job training, you need to send him to various workshops and seminars so that he can hone his skill according to the job, because nobody is perfect. So you need to upgrade their skills, you need to upskill themselves, upskills your employees. So for that matter, you need to give the training and development. So L&D department plays a very major role in training the people. Next is performance management. Once the employee is on the board, he's been trained, we evaluate, we manage his performance. So the goals are set, feedback and appraisals are taken, how he is working to get the feedback, continuous improvement, and we tend to give them the feedback on a time-to-time basis so that we can expect a continuous improvement in the individual, so that he could remain engaged, he could remain productive, and his goals are aligned with the organization goals and objectives. So here we talk about the integration. So very important function of HR, which starts with procurement, development, compensation, maintenance, integration. So integration is aligning the needs and objectives of goals and objective of the individual with the organization. Next is compensation and benefits. In staffing, we also ensure, if you talk about the HR, human resource management, this is a different function, but as far as it's a different functional area. I mean, the people who are looking for the compensation are a different department. The one who is looking for the training and development is a different department. But when we are talking about management, so under this, we are just covering the staffing. So everything comes under, all the operative functions of HR comes under the staffing. So because it is related to the people, it is related to the human resource. So compensation and benefits, that's also the duty of the human resource managers to give them fair and equitable compensation. So compensation include your wages, your salaries, your incentives, your perks, etc. And besides it, comprehensive benefits, like for example, healthcare, retirement plans, like for the worker, we have EPFs, we have ESI in India, employee state insurance, we have employee provident fund, we have a concept of payment of gratuity, and various other social security benefits. So these provide employee satisfaction. This acts as a retention tool and contributing to the organization's overall success. So retention and succession planning, ensuring long-term success. So it is the duty of the HR manager, it's the duty of the managers to ensure that your good people, your star employees get retained. So you need to create a positive work environment for that. You need to give them the career development opportunities. You need to plan for the succession. Like if one employee is leaving your organization tomorrow, who is going to take over his seat, take over his charge, take over his position. So identifying and developing internal talent to fill the key leadership position ensure continually stability and long-term success for the organization. So retention and succession planning, this also part of staffing. This is a summary. Overall, the staffing process is a comprehensive and continuous endeavor aimed at acquiring, developing, retaining a talented workforce to achieve organizational objective effectively and efficiently. Each step in the process is interconnected and requires a careful planning, execution, and evaluation to ensure the best outcomes for both the organization and its employees. Thank you so much.